Hello, this is Chapter 12, Other Relaxation Techniques Highlights. Okay, so the first relaxation technique is biofeedback. And biofeedback is the use of electronic instruments or other techniques to monitor and change subconscious activities, many of which are regulated by the autonomic nervous system. So biofeedback is receiving information about what is occurring in your body at a particular time and then helping you control that occurrence. So again, biofeedback is used to train individuals to gain greater control over their physiological processes. Most of these tools can be found in hospitals, physical therapy clinics, or rehabilitation centers. Recently, the FDA has a few devices that are approved for home use. And even more recently, there are a few apps that you can use to do some biofeedback at home. A really great app is called Belly Bio, and it uses the iPhone's accelerometer to monitor proper diaphragmatic breathing. And what you do is you lie down on your bed and you place your iPhone on your stomach, and the accelerometer is going to measure the rise and fall of your belly to help you with that diaphragmatic breathing. Pretty cool, huh? Let's talk about some different types of biofeedback. So the first is measuring brain waves. So if we're looking at our brain waves for biofeedback, we are going to use scalp sensors to monitor your brain waves during an EEG. If we're going to measure respiratory feedback, so we're measuring the rate and depth of the breaths that are being taken, we will place bands either around the abdomen or the chest to monitor the pattern and the rate of breathing. And then moving on to heart rate. So heart rate biofeedback uses either finger or earlobe sensors or sensors placed on the chest, lower torso, or wrists. And if we have the sensors placed on our chest, torso, or wrists, we are going to use ECG to measure heart rate or heart rate variability. Continuing on, so muscles. So if we're using electromyography, this type of feedback is going to involves placing sensors over the skeletal muscles. And again, we're going to use electromyography to monitor muscle contraction. So for those of you that have really tight upper back muscles, we're going to place sensors on the upper back. For those of you that tend to clench your jaw, we can even place sensors on your cheeks or near your temples to see if you are unconsciously, bearing down and grinding your teeth. And then we have our sweat glands. So this type of biofeedback uses sensors attached around your fingers or on your palm or on your wrist to measure the activity of your sweat glands and the amount of perspiration on your skin. And then we have temperature, also known as thermal biofeedback, where we have sensors that are attached to the fingers or even to the feet to measure blood flow to the skin. And because the temperature drops during stress, a low reading can prompt an individual to begin relaxation techniques. All right, so a few different reasons to use biofeedback. Well, first, it's non-invasive. It might be a treatment alternative for those that can't tolerate medications. It might be an option when medications haven't worked well. It might be an alternative to medications for some conditions during pregnancy. And finally, it helps people take charge of their health. All right, some biofeedback benefits. It improves physical health. It can improve asthma, hypertension, bruxism, headaches, and nerve muscle injuries, specifically caused by stroke or paralysis. And the psychological effects, they help make changes to health-related behaviors. It may help improve anxiety, insomnia, alcoholism, drug abuse, and depression. And I'm only listing a few of these physiological and psychological effects, but biofeedback can have a significant effect on many different types of physical or psychological diseases. Moving on to our next relaxation technique, body scanning. So body scanning is a relaxation technique that finds a relaxed body part, and then you will transport that sensation to a less relaxed body part. So body scanning really involves this mindfulness component where you need to be able to identify areas of your body that are less tense, and kind of imagine that you have, you can imagine a big ball, and wherever you have an area of low tension, let's say your calves are extraordinarily relaxed, I want you to imagine this big ball kind of rolling up your body, traveling up to your shoulders, which are extremely tense. And just that act of that, that imaginary ball rolling all the way up to your shoulders, once it reaches your shoulders, you should be able to transport that relaxed sensation there. So that is what body scanning is. Moving on, talking about massage. So Eastern cultures have utilized massage as a part of medical care for centuries. Shiatsu massage is a type of massage that involves pressing down on points of the body where knots or bands of muscle tension frequently occur. Massage usually requires a massage lotion and employing various massage techniques. If you are giving a massage to a friend or a family member, just make sure that you never press directly on the vertebrae. The vertebrae are the bones of your spine. Make sure that you focus your pressure on the sides of your back, outside, away from the vertebrae, and don't apply a lot of pressure on the neck or the lower back region. We don't want to injure those areas. And massage benefits include reduced anxiety, reduced feelings of stress, decreased blood pressure, as well as alleviation of back and arthritis pain. Moving on to acupuncture. So acupuncture involves the insertion of very thin needles through your skin at strategic points on your body. Acupuncture is used for pain management, stress management, and general health and wellness. You shouldn't use acupuncture if you have a bleeding disorder, because if you have a bleeding disorder, there are greater chances of bleeding or bruising from the needles. Or if you have a pacemaker, acupuncture. There are some types of acupuncture that involves applying mild electrical impulses to the needles, and this can interfere with the pacemaker. The last contraindication is if you are currently pregnant. There are some types of acupuncture that are thought to stimulate labor, which could result in a premature delivery, which is something that we don't want. Moving on to reflexology. So reflexology is a massage technique that massages a reflex zone in the foot in which damage to body parts is thought to be manifested. So for example, if we have an individual that has some kidney issues, we could technically massage this nice big green area of the foot, this dot, on both feet. And, by massaging and pressing down on this area, it could help with our current kidney issue. There are many different types of reflexology. This is just one example. There's also hand reflexology, where we can also get another diagram of our hands, and we can see, different areas that have been mapped out on our hands. Moving on to aromatherapy. So aromatherapy is the use of plant material added to massage oil. And this plant material is thought to have pharmacological qualities that improve our health. Benefits of aromatherapy include relief from anxiety and depression, improved quality of life, particularly for individuals with chronic health conditions, and it can also improve our sleep. Moving on to yoga. So there are many different forms of yoga, and hatha yoga is very well known in the Western world. If you've ever done yoga, you'll know that there are many different types of asanas. Asanas are body positions or poses used during yoga. Asanas can vary in difficulty and can be modified based on the level of the participant. And whether you perform a specific type of yoga or perform regular stretching on a consistent basis, it will lead to improved body awareness, a decrease in resting heart rate, and an improvement in flexibility. Okay, so let's talk about pranayamas. So pranayamas are regulated breathing techniques. There are several ways to breathe during yoga. One of the most common types of breathing techniques in yoga is the 1-4-2 technique, where we inhale for 1 second, hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 2 seconds. Another common type of breathing in yoga is called nostril breathing, when we are only breathing in and out through one nostril, and then we are switching back and forth between the two. This aids with calmness and relaxation. Personally, I don't enjoy nostril breathing, and remember, any relaxation techniques that are employed in a stressful manner will not work. So if you find, that this breathing technique is stressful, it's probably not going to work for you, and that's okay. We can just do normal breathing. We can practice the 1-4-2 technique during yoga instead of nostril breathing. Moving on, talking about repetitive prayer. So repetitive prayer can be used to focus your attention away from your stressors. Repeating a prayer during aerobic activities is excellent. You can repeat the prayer while you are walking or jogging. It might be helpful, if you are following the cadence with the prayer that is being repeated. And this prayer can be religious, spiritual, or even something motivational. Moving on to pets and stress. So pets provide social support, and they can help take away the focus of any concerns or worries that you might have. Pets improve changes of survival after life-threatening illness. They reduce aggressive behavior, and they enrich the lives of individuals that might be lonely or a little bit depressed. Really cool fact, petting a dog can momentarily decrease your blood pressure and the dog's. But pet ownership, whether you have a cat, a dog, a bird, or any other pet, pet ownership can definitely reduce your stress. Really quickly, I just wanted to discuss some other excellent relaxation techniques. The first is music. So whether you are listening to soothing music or even playing music, listening to soothing music can reduce your blood pressure, reduce depression, and improve your self-esteem. And this also includes, playing an instrument. If you play the guitar or the violin or any other instrument, this can also help reduce your stress. Moving on to art and the creative process. So, art therapy is a practice that uses creation, media, and reflection to help its participants. And, this can include free painting, drawing, adult coloring books, or other crafts such as model making, making jewelry, sewing, crocheting, knitting. But really, when it comes to relaxation techniques, anything that, gets your mind off of the stressor and allows you to focus on something else is going to be helpful. The end.